This is Living Power with Dan Hurst.
Heaven is a place of childlike wonder. Matthew 18, 1 through 4. At that time the disciples came to Jesus and said, "Who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" I love this. The disciples, they were just, boy, they could be so bratty sometimes. I want to be more important in heaven, God. I want to have a really cool place in heaven. That's really what they were saying. Who's going to be the greatest in heaven, God? And he called a little child and had him stand among them. And he said, "I'm going to tell you the truth." I love it. I love, it's not like, "Verily, verily, I say unto thee." What he was saying was, I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. Unless you change and become like little children, you ain't going to enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Such practical truth. This idea that our connection with God is to be one of childlike wonder. This realization that God is in control, and that even though the world is just going to hell in a handbasket, God is still on the throne. Have you noticed that about the world lately? Are things not crazy as they can be right now in the world? I mean, it is worse now than it has ever been before. Folks, we are so close to the end. We are in the end times. No question about that. We are right at the precipice right now. Things, God has called us and put us here on earth for this purpose, for this time, at this place. You are called by God. You have a calling, and God is up to something in your life. The world has gone crazy, and God's put us here because He wants for us to relate that to the world that just is looking for some answers. Listen, the world is more ready right now for truth than it has ever been before. People who are dying on the streets, who are desperate, who are lonely, who are broken, who have no answers, are looking for truth now more than they've ever looked for it. We need to understand that it is a childlike wonder that reveals that wonderful truth. It's not this naivete that comes along and says, "Well, if you'll just trust Jesus, everything will be okay." Because everything is not going to be okay, but you will be okay. And it's a childlike wonder, a sense like God is in control in spite of how the world is falling apart. And I can trust Him, and I can believe Him, and I can recognize that He meets my needs, and He wants to provide for me, and He wants to minister in my life. There's got to be a childlike wonder that goes along with that. And so there will be that wonder in heaven, but it can exist now. You're to have that kind of connection with God, like it's just like, wow! Listen, that's what the word hallelujah means, by the way. It means, holy wow! I mean, and so we have to live a life of holy wows. Like, wow, I can't believe God did that. That is so cool. I'm looking at what God does in my life, and I'm going, wow, hallelujah. And I'm looking at what God does in your life, and I'm going, wow, hallelujah. There's got to be a childlike wonder that God is up to something, and we're part of it. I was talking to Brandon, our pastor, Brandon. I was talking to him about John and his decision to come to Christ and follow the Lord in baptism. I had just learned about it. And it was so cool to see Brandon's response. He said, "Wow, that makes my day!" That's exactly the way that we're to live our life, with this childlike wonder that God is doing something. He's up to something in our life. Folks, I'm thinking something's wrong with you, because you're not getting too excited about this. You're looking like salmon. Get excited with childlike wonder that God is up to something in our lives.